Hello YouTube, welcome to Climbinator 1978 or 1978, my personal channel. And today's video is going to be slightly different. It's not a review or a film, it's not a review of a film or a video game, but it's going to be something about me personally. And that is, I'm actually coming out to confirm that I have Asperger's syndrome, or Asperger's syndrome as it's commonly frequently pronounced as. It's a form of autism, and I was diagnosed at the age of 2.5, so way back in the mid to late 1980s. Yes, I'm that old, I am. And all I can say is I wouldn't change it for the world or the universe. But the thing about the condition is it enabled me to open my eyes up to other people with vulnerabilities, like people with all levels of abilities, like not just my level of ability, but some who were more severe. I've worked with people with disabilities my whole life, practically. I've even got people in my family with disabilities. And I hate to use the term people who are normal, but let's just say people without disabilities. Right, I've got friends without disabilities and I've got friends with disabilities, and whilst I like people without disabilities, I find that people with disabilities are far more intriguing to be around, because each individual has their own individual personality and character. You know, we all have our own abilities and vulnerabilities. We're all our own real life superheroes in a way, if we choose to be. Like, I remember, same as we can all choose to be a real life supervillain. I know that sounds a bit crazy to say, but really and truthfully, superheroes and supervillains are just an analogy of what we can be in life. Anyway, with my condition, I actually have what's called an eidetic memory. Photographic memory, in other words. Like, I can actually remember the colouring of the icing on my cake for my 4th birthday. It was a white backdrop, and there were 3 balloons on the icing of the cake, and they were red, yellow and blue. I remember it because they are the colouring of my favourite comic book superhero, Superman. Red, yellow and blue. Eidetic memory. But I also remember the very first school I went to. And I only stayed there for 2 years because I was bullied there. But it was also the fact that I was coping very well with academacy, but I wasn't coping very well on the socialising side. Add to that with the bullying, well, the thing was, I was scared to go to school. So I went to a school that was for vulnerable children, where I made lots of friends because the children were like me. and I learned how to cope more. And after that, things just got better and better for me. I learned how to deal with bullying, and there were one or two, most of the bullies I came across were just name-calling types, but there were one or two that were particularly vicious. But I learned from my previous experience, I learned how to deal with them. And all I can say is those particular bullies are now inside. They are. They're inside, and all I can say is I went from my junior schools, and then I went into a mainstream secondary school which had a special needs unit, and I began to study drama, where I then went on to college. I did a 3-year performing arts course, and in my spare time I was doing amateur theatre groups. And after leaving college, I then got my first part-time job, which was being a theatre steward, which I'm still doing now, 15 years later, near enough. And I got my BTEC first diploma and my national diploma in performing arts, acting. And I've been on the stage with some celebrities. Alright, I'm an extra, but even so. I've even been in BBC's Call the Midwife, Season 2. I've been in 3 episodes of that. Episode 2, 3 and 4. You can actually see me in a couple of the market scenes. You see me in the background wearing a dark grey jacket, dark grey trousers, and a dark green tank top and a dark grey flat